Today's video is brought to you by Christopher Lee Jones, author of the book Mars Mission 1: Surviving the Kessler Effect. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very special video. We are going to get a tour of the Tesla Texas Gigafactory with Joe Tegtmeyer himself. He's going to fly around the factory and show us everything that's happening here. So I hope you like this video. It's going to be a fun one. So let's get right to it.
You can see where the main factory is and what we were talking about earlier. And as I kind of maneuver the drone back to the north and pan south, you'll see this central road that connects Tesla Road on the north, River Road on the south, and then next to it, coming under the bottom of the screen, is where that Welcome Center is going to be built. And this perspective gives you a really good idea of where we are in relation to the factory itself. Now, this grade work is still underway. It's not flat, so they can't build on it yet, but they have been working on it. And what I was going to say is the steel that you see on this staging yard coming up right in the center of the screen, that's been used for a lot of different projects over the years, and we're talking about at least 4 years, 4.5 years they've stored stuff here.
Wow.
But it keeps being used, and a lot of it has been used inside the factory as they've been building out new mezzanines, new floors.
So it's all structure stuff, like I-beams and that sort of
Yes, a lot of beams, some columns, and it's basically, if you were here for the Cyber Rodeo in 2022, the factory was a box. It was empty. Now it's not.
We were just talking about
that.
Yeah,
yeah, and a lot of this material is what's used for that.
Okay, so they filled it in since then.
Quite a bit, and they're still doing it to this day. Some of that is for the Cybercab production facility, which they are building out right now. And if you watch my main video from this morning, I show you a lot of views inside where that all is taking place.
Awesome.
But as we continue to just sort of fly, a couple other things I'll point out here. On this side here where you see all the houses, they've just now added a perimeter fence on that side. It's Tesla's property, and they've been in the process of putting that all in, and it will really help with the security. I'm going to go to a higher altitude just so we can look around here, but what I'm approaching is the end-of-line facility, the outbound facility, or the outbound lot.
That's where the autonomous cars are coming out?
This is the end point. You can see where they're lining up here on the east side. There's 4 different lanes. I'll bring the drone down a little bit for that. But you can see those like long lanes along the side of the building.
Yes.
That's where the end point is for the cars when they drive themselves, and they'll stop at these lanes, and then the people will come out and then they'll take them on the inside.
Okay.
So I think eventually they will go even more than that, but right now it comes from the factory. It drives about 2 miles to the south under the bridge and then back up this road and then parks there. Okay. The Cybertrucks come through the Cyber Tunnel, and that's about halfway, and I'll show you where that is right now.
Is that the only tunnel they have here?
For the moment.
Right.
There will be more. But I'm just showing you the outbound lot. It's about maybe a third full. That's just because we're Monday.
On the far side?
It's over that way. See where that big building?
That building
there?
Okay.
My drone is right on top of that building right now.
So we're on the other side of the highway right now?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so this is Monday. It's production's gearing back up after not doing it on the weekends, so that's why we haven't seen these fill up, but they will fill up pretty quickly. And what I'm just showing you here is more material staging. This is everything from containers for parts to cables on spools for the electrical transformers. They have a lot of production equipment that's over in this area here in the middle of the screen. And that's part of it is for the 4680 production. Some of it's for the Cybercab, and some of it's for just a variety of other things.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to get to here, I'm going to try to go to a higher altitude, is I'm almost at the far southwest corner of the property. You can see this triangular staging yard. This has got more transformers, more steel for interior construction, and a bunch of other stuff. You see this site over here. This is just a clearing that they've been removing the ponds and the hills from the sand and gravel mining operation a long time ago, but they're also using it to store dirt. They're storing a lot of the spoils coming out of the tunnel boring machine on the caissons that are drilling underneath the Colorado River. They're doing a bunch of other stuff. And there's also the parking lot, which is for all the contractor vehicles. But what I really want to show you is you can see River Road and you can see all of the grass. This is the southwest corner of Giga Texas, and that is the beginning of the ecological paradise.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to follow all the way along here. I'm going to just pan the drone around. In between the trees is the Colorado River. And just to the south, there's a large apartment complex being put in, and there's a lot of construction going on there to build even more housing.
Okay.
But you
That's all Hornby Bend?
No, it's over here on the right-hand side.
Okay. Oh, right, yeah. I'm turned around, yes.
I'm facing due south. There's the Colorado River.
Got it.
And that large field is partially being developed right now for more housing.
Okay.
The sun's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'll continue to sort of point the drone now almost east. That's the Sandhill Energy Plant, and there's also a water treatment plant. And on either side of the Colorado River here, on this side and on that side, there's these, they call them sunk caissons. They're large construction items that go down into the ground about 15 to 20 meters. And then at the bottom of that, they're doing tunnel boring machines that are boring between the caisson underneath the Colorado River, right where the drone is, to the other caisson. And that's for water management.
Oh, okay.
So stopping here for a second, you can see the main factory, the highway.
Yep.
On the left, this is one of that caisson where the boring machine's drilling underneath the Colorado River. And then everything you see by the Colorado River on the right is all that ecological paradise as well.
Where's the caisson here? Where am I looking for it over here?
I'm going to bring you in closer. I've kind of gone to a higher altitude on purpose, but...
This is from the south side of Giga, right?
Yes.
Down there?
Yeah, and the wind's coming from the south, so I'm going to try to use that for my advantage as I try to go over to the east side. But okay, right in the middle here, where you see the pipe segments, there'll be like it's partially covered right now, but there's a giant hole, and that's the caisson. And in the bottom of that caisson is where the tunnel boring machine is boring.
Here.
Yeah, they have like a cloth on top of it.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So that's part of a water management system that they're adding in. It's called an intercept system, and it's because the capacity here is just not big enough for all the construction that's coming up. So anyway, main factory, Cyber Pond on the south end. That entire...
Oh, Cyber Pond, that's cool.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah.
And this entire south end was added on to the factory. And they're still in the process of finishing that up, but it added about 400 feet in length to the building. So the building's about 4,500 feet long now. And I'm just looking back real quick just to show you on the ground here is the Cyber Tunnel. I'll bring the drone down in, but that's where the Cyber trucks come out.
Yeah.
And so they enter the tunnel from the inside of the factory, and they come out here at the Cyber Tunnel, and in fact, they're coming out right now. You're lucky. One just came out. See if there'll be another one.
Birthing tunnel.
Yeah. But they just put a video out yesterday showing them driving autonomously through there.
Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
They also did the Model Ys as well.
That's great.
But that's where the Cybertrucks come out. And then with the lighting, it's a little bit hard, but looking across the road, you can kind of see inside the building where those Cybertrucks enter. And I'll kind of fly back towards the building over the tunnel, and I'll give you an idea of...
Oh, so it's right at the end of the building where the new section is.
Yeah, it's...
okay, it's on that far
yeah.
side.
Far south end, yeah.
Yeah, so it's directly under the drone here, all the way through here, entering under the building, and then right above this kind of gray tile patch, where they put that in as it's a different roof for the cooling system for the Cortex, but right in the middle here is where the tunnel would be on the ground.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring the drone up to a little bit higher altitude, and just so we can get the good signal, if I can, and keep showing you what we can see. In the top of the screen, you see that large pond?
Yeah.
That's part of Giga Texas. That's part of the ecological paradise that are planning on using.
What's this here, that other little body of water?
Okay, I just lost signal, so.
Okay.
You gotta get up higher.
Will it come to you when it detects that?
Yeah, it's doing it right now.
Okay.
I backed the control again. So anyway, I'll just restart the the video from here and you can splice it together. But anyway, so we're right above the multi-level parking garage. We're looking to the east over where that pond is, and that's part of that ecological paradise. And that's where they're going to be putting in, I think, some gardens for the public.
Oh, yeah?
And as I continue to move the drone here, you can see all of this east side. This is where they have the contractor trailers, the vehicles, a lot of equipment, workshops. That's all, of course, temporary. And when that's no longer needed for the construction, that's another large area that could be developed. In fact, it's big enough for another Giga Texas factory just there by itself. And then also just where I'm at is you can see all the grass, the trees, the grass and the river. That's all part of that ecological paradise.
Wow.
And I'll try to bring the drone down a little bit.
Land.
Yeah. And it's just the signal. But you can see just all the trees and the Colorado River off to the right. That's where the northern boundary of that ecological paradise would be.
Okay.
And now as I'm turning back towards the north, you can see the cathode plant,
Yes.
the crash test facility, which is a Quonset hut next to it. And then the larger one is the dye shop. And then way up to the north, you see rectangular field. And then you see another field with a lone tree on it.
Yep.
That's all part of Giga Texas, and it continues even beyond that.
Oh, wow.
And up in kind of between where those two fields are is where, kind of where the dirt is between the two fields is where the test track's going to be built.
Wow, that's so cool.
And as I continue to maneuver here in, I'm going to show you the large construction site now that's going on, that's between the dye shop, which is the square building where they do dye maintenance, dye for the casting machines, and they also do development of it and testing.
Okay.
But you see this new building being constructed.
Oh yeah, look at that.
This is for Cortex 2. It's also known in the permits as the Central Campus Support Facility, but in the permit it was supposed to be 3 buildings. You can clearly see it's one large building, so something has changed on that.
Yeah, very interesting.
And
those footings, looks like there's footings down there already.
there are. They're actually gigantic.
Yeah.
And I'll try to maneuver the drone a little bit closer in so you can get an idea with maybe some people. Best thing is watch my videos because I get really a lot lower.
Yeah.
For this video, I'm not going to get that low, but this gives you a really good idea of how much they've already progressed. They have all the steel on the ground that's been being delivered in, and that's for the vertical assembly.
Yeah.
And they have 2 cranes just below the drone right now that are being set up for that. One of the other interesting differences between this structure and the steel and Giga Texas itself is that Giga Texas' steel came in as gray and it was eventually painted white.
Okay.
These are coming in powder coated white already, so it's saving some time. But as I continue to maneuver here, we can look back to the main factory, so that gives you an idea where we are and where this building is in relation to the main factory in the upper right, the dye shop on the left, the parking spaces for the employees, the parking garage. This area is the East Warehouse on Wheels, which is that concept of using trailers for all the production parts and storing it here until needed, so you don't have to waste space inside the factory. And then they used yard trucks to move them to where they need it.
Shunting them around, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is that
That's what we can see here. These are the trailers.
yes, right there.
Yeah, excellent.
The other good thing is that the drivers bring the trailers and just drop them off, pick another one, and go. They don't have to wait. So it's a big time savings.
Wow.
Okay, so now what I'm trying to show you here, first I'm going to look back to that construction zone to the east where the battery cathode plant and the dye shop is. And you can see that new building, how large it is. And as I pan back towards the factory on the ground, you see a lot more earthwork being done. This is where they're preparing to double the size of the electrical switchyard, which is coming into view on the right. So this electrical switchyard was added in about 2.5 years ago. Before that, where the Megapack 2 is, they had a temporary one. So they added this one in, and it had 2 large transformers with room to grow. They've already added a third, and that's not big enough. So they're going to add a complete mirror of it over here. So it's going to have 6 large transformers to power the Cortex 1 and the Cortex 2. Exactly. So this gives you a pretty good idea of just the scale of the amount of construction that is on the north end for that central campus support facility, or Cortex 2, and the Megapacks. I mean the switchyard. And in addition to that, on the south end is where they're putting in Megapack 2. Now on the right-hand side of the screen is Megapack 1, the original Megapack that was put in about 2 years ago. And its purpose was to provide backup power to Giga Texas and help stabilize the grid around here.
This one?
And that's the original one, yeah.
Okay.
Now the one coming into view in the center of the screen is Megapack 2. That's under construction right now. They just added all of the Megapacks in. That's happened over the weekend. So they need to connect all that in. But that's purpose is to provide basically clean power for the Cortex to keep the spikes of frequencies and voltages, which is what they saw with the Colossus over at the XAI one as well. So that's what all that is. And as I just sort of, I'm at 200 and something feet. That's because I'm going over the power lines. So my minimum safe altitude is 200 feet for that. So make sure I'm clear all the time.
Okay.
And I'm just flying over the old Megapack, looking back towards the main factory. And I think I have enough battery power. Just sort of scan around here. All of this dirt that you see between Tesla Road, which is where the cars are driving, and where the drone is, I have seen plans where they're going to be putting like a road loop through this area.
Oh, wow.
And then they'll be further developing this site. And what that is, I don't know. But it's just, there's so much construction going on, it's just crazy. Right below me, you see like a new kind of road being built. That's so that they can, I'll turn back towards the north real quick, give you a good scan around the east side. But in the middle of the new construction zone that we were just talking about, used to be the Martin Marietta concrete batch plant. That was relocated to the north of the electrical switchyard. Originally, it was a temporary batch plant that was used to make all the concrete for Giga Texas, and you can see that right up here.
Yes.
Now it's been reconfigured as a permanent one, and that allowed them to move it over here so they could build that construction.
Has that been absorbed by Tesla then?
No, it's
still a separate company?
It's still a separate company. This road is to allow them to have access to that because of all that construction that we were just seeing. And now I'm going to go ahead and sort of turn back towards the factory again, kind of scanning across the east side. And I think this view is really good just to give you a perspective of just how much is under construction still.
Wow.
And how much room is yet to be done. And I've only shown you about 1,000 of the 3,600 acres.
That's crazy. If you point out where the drone is, where is it?
It's right there, right over there. Yeah,
This way.
so I'm gonna be flying right over us, and I'll come down and buzz right over you so that you can see that in the video, and then we'll have to land it.
Yeah, okay.
So right now I'm right over Tesla Road, right there, that intersection, and I'm flying directly at us, almost directly south. I'm over this grassy area right now and heading right at us.
Oh yeah, I see the drone.
Yeah, I see it.
And there you go.
Great.